we go. Welcome everybody to Dreaming and Creating. Hi, how are y'all doing today?
Hi.
Hi. Okay, so we're going to be talking today about bringing dreams to life. So this is it's my first time where I'm bringing together two disciplines, my love and discipline of dreaming and my love and discipline of creating. So this time I'm bringing the two together to create a seamless experience that I want for all of you to have. And we're going from a premise today. A premise is a working assumption. And the working assumption that we're going for is that we can deliberately tap into our dreams to bring forth creative projects, a life we love. We can actually bring these two things into a general awareness to work together with our dreams and our creating at the same time. So it's really a lot of fun to do this, and I hope that you all have set an intention for yourself. If not, you can set a quick intention of what you would like to receive. And I have an intention too, and my intention has been that I give you a gift of being able to take some of the tools that we're using today to seed your own dreams, to bring forth your own creative projects or your own sense of creating and life together as one thing. Okay? So it's interesting to me that dreams have a double meaning. There's two meanings to dreams. We've always had these two meanings, it seems, throughout history, that we have the sense of the dreams as the night dreams that are fantastical, that are wonderful. When we catch them, that we find that the more we catch, the more creative they become and the more wonderful they become. And then there's our other dreams, which are also expansive. And that is, I see this as beyond goals. They're fantastical desires that lie deep within our hearts, something we deeply would love to create within our own lives, a deep, deep love for us. So those also can be fantastical seeming to us because they can seem like it's almost impossible to bring them forth. It just is something that just seems too out there, too beyond us, too just not possible. And yet our dreams and our waking dream, our life, I see as one thing. They're not separate at all. They're intended to be, as they did in indigenous cultures that I've expressed in other times in other classes and then throughout the year, they're intended to work together, that our lives are not one thing. Our waking life is not out here and our dreams over here. However, we can bring them together so that we can have the most wonderful daydream life experience. And that's what this is about today. So one of the questions that I want to ask you as we start is, what is genius? And so think about this. What is genius? And, is it something that you think everybody has? Does everybody have genius? And this is a share. Anybody want to share about that? What they think, their ideas?
I'll speak.
Sure. Go ahead, Eldon.
Okay. Sorry, my picture's not there. I don't know what's wrong here.
It's okay.
I've used Zoom, first of all. I love genius just by coming to this planet.
Mm-hmm.
And experiencing this kind of life. And I've always thought that.
Yeah.
It mean that it's presented or shown, but I think within them, and I think I'm talking about their whole self is a genius for.
That's really a very insightful. Yeah, very insightful.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very insightful on that. The idea of genius being that it's.
Sorry, you're all gone.
Oh, you're there? You got it. Of being who we are. The idea of genius being inherently within us, coming to this planet with that genius. Anyone else have anything to say about that?
I agree with Eldon. I think the fact that we're here implies our genius.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We're here. We've signed up. We've signed up for the adventure.
Yeah, I like that. The genius, and as a sense, is signing up for an adventure, a call to adventure.
Right.
Yes, like Joseph Campbell's call to adventure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Uh-huh.
we are speaking of genius in terms of giftings in general, not just intellectual giftings. Is that correct?
Yes, yes. We're speaking of genius in another way. It goes beyond the idea of just that some people have this intellectual capacity for genius and
Uh-huh.
everybody else doesn't.
So we are all geniuses in some way or other.
Yeah, we all have within us this sense that we are of the creative spirit, that we are of, if you're in a Christian orientation, of God, or
Mhm.
if you're in another orientation of all that is, we are all of this creative spirit. And within every single one of us lies genius. And genius, another way that I'm going to define it here for our work today, is making connections where they have not been made before. So you're making connections where none have been made before. Okay. And that comes from that higher awareness, that heart's place. Every single one of us has within us a genius, this special thing that we were coming here to create. There's something, it's like each of us are from this all that is, from God. Each of us were from this higher place. We may forget who we are coming here, but each of us are from that. And each of us has something that is not just from that, but something that is special to us directly to create, something that's just us, that we have come to express. And it's making those connections where they've not been made before. Where do those come from? Well, they come from that higher awareness, from that heart space. Each of us has it. And yet we don't believe it, do we? I mean, when we get down to it in our humanness, how many of us really believe that we all have, we kind of intellectually believe it. Coming from our humanness, we often don't see that. We see
I'm
ourselves as less.
beginning, I'm
Yeah.
beginning, because of my studies about counterparts and my belief about source,
Mhm.
I'm beginning to remember that with everybody, that we all come from the same source, and we are expressing that in different ways.
Mhm.
Some of us are lost in forgetting, or appear to be lost in forgetting, but that's only from the viewpoint of the observer. That's what I'm beginning to think that I remember.
Yes. Yes, we all come from that, like Linda says, that we forget, from the benefit of the observer, which we're going to be going in today, by the way. We're going to be doing a beautiful meditation from the point of an observer of our genius. So we all come from that. And as Linda said, we tend to forget. And then there's a coming back to the remembering. It's a journey. It's a journey that each of us takes part in as a human being, coming back to the remembrance of who we are, into our genius. Now, our genius also wants to express what it is in our hearts to express, our own creativity. So for some of us, that might be in the sense of being a mother. That's a beautiful journey. Might be in a sense of creating projects within my sister and my father loved to create all kinds of little wooden projects and shelves and that kind of thing. And he was a genius engineer. He came up with all kinds of ideas. So this was in his heart, and it was a beautiful creativity to him. It could be in the sense that you're an artist, like Elizabeth in our group, or some of the other artists that we have in our group. And Eldon, you have a lot of various beautiful things that you produce that I've seen. And all of us have these wonderful things that we produce that are within our heart, that is within our own genius. So our dreams also go into our genius. There are our writers and our inventions and our artists and our creativity. There's all these stories that I've been telling for over a year of all these people that create directly from their dreams, whether they are an inspiration as we have found many inspired dreams like Einstein, he often had inspiration from his dreams. Or John Lennon, who would get different projects from his dreams, different creative songs, or Paul McCartney, the same thing. So we've had musicians, we've had writers, a number of writers, we've had a number of artists, and we've had inventors like, like Thomas Edison. So we've had all different types of people for the last year that I've been talking about that are creating directly from their dreams. And we can do that too, because whatever it is that we are focused intensely upon during the day is what our dreams are going to express back to us at night. So if we're focused on all our fears during the day, we're going to have all kinds of psychological dreams at night that are fear-based. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. Maybe we need to kind of work through our fears right now. I'm not expressing a right or wrong here. There is no right or wrong here. It's just simply that we can also use our dreams because they are both human and they are divine. We can also use our dreams in this place of higher awareness to help us live our daily lives. And that has been what has fascinated me for the last several years. So it's just been a growing fascination as I've been doing it. And there's one person I want to share a story about as a creator and a dreamer, because I've never, ever shared a story yet to this day about an archaeologist. And yet here was an archaeologist who took his ideas and the things that he was thinking about to his dreams. So this guy was named, this guy was, all of a sudden it slipped me. Herman, his name was Herman Hilprecht, and he was, Hilprecht, and he was an archaeologist who lived in the 1800s, and he was fascinated with solving mysteries. And one of the places he would take his mysteries to were his dream space. And so there was a particular mystery that came up that he was absolutely fascinated with. He was studying from the University of Pennsylvania these drawings and these sketches that were being made at that time from some pieces of agate that had been discovered. And these were from Nippur of ancient Iraq, and they were from King Kirandasu. And it was about 3,000 years ago or so. So it was quite a long time ago. And he was poring over these drawings, these sketches that were made from this excavation. And he was thinking, well, everybody was saying, well, we think these pieces of agate, that these are actually just some rings. And he kept feeling like that was not very complete. He thought there was a lot more to it. So what he decided to do is he decided to take it to his dreams. So he intensely is focused on it, intensely focused on what he is interested in. And he has a really interesting dream. And it's not the only time he did this. He did this more than once. This dream he recorded, and it turned out they thought in the end it was probably spot on. It certainly was extremely entertaining and opened up his creativity. And here was his dream. So he moves into his dream space and he sees this tall, thin priest of the old pre-Christian Nippur, about 40 years of age, ancient in those times, right? And this guy was clad in this simple abba, and he led Herbert to this temple of Bel. And he was in the treasure chamber within the temple on the southeast side, very, very detailed on the details of his dream. And he's going up to this there's this slow kind of moving, it like this low, small room, low ceiling, no windows. There's a large wooden chest in there. And within that, he sees these scraps of agate and also another material, lapis lazuli, and it's scattered around the floor next to the chest. And so when he's led there by this priest, the priest talks to him like this. He said, King Kirandazu once sent to the Temple of Bel, among other articles of agate and lapis lazuli, an inscribed votive cylinder of agate. Then we priests suddenly received a command to make for the statue of the god Ninib, we wanted to make him a pair of earrings of agate. So we were in great dismay because there wasn't any agate as raw material on hand. So in order to excavate the command, well, there was nothing for us to do but to cut this cylinder into 3 parts, thus making 3 rings, and each one contained a portion of the original inscription. The first 2 rings served as earrings for the statue of the god. The 2 fragments which have been giving you so much trouble are portions of them. If you will put the 2 together, you will have the confirmation of my words. But the 3rd ring you have not yet found in the course of your excavations, and you will never find it. And with these words, the priest vanished. No more priest, he's gone. And so Hilprecht woke up and he looked at the sketches again, and he saw that the fragments could be fitted together to make a section of cylinder. And then within English, this was pretty cool, that this answer was delivered. It was delivered basically by the Pontiff of Bel, by this king. So he got, his answer was, okay, the words were saying as if in English, that it was this king that delivered to him this dream and the meaning of the words. And they were actually on the cylinder in that when you translated them into English. And that was super cool. So he decided that was so cool, he did it again. And he got another answer from another mystery. So here is somebody that I've never talked about before. Somebody in the field of archaeology, not something that we necessarily think about as we take to our dreams, or a mystery that you take to your dreams. But here, this guy, he took a mystery to his dreams. And how cool is that? So that was where a dream can go when we take a mystery to a dream or a problem to a dream. Now, once we're catching our dreams and writing them down, we're going to be able to do this too, because dreams go deep. When we're focused on them, they're bringing to us a wonderful creativity. They're bringing to us even within our own innate genius that lies within all of us. All of us has that genius. Our dreams bring that to us. When we tap into them, we write them down, we record them. They're rich with the symbols that help us make connections that where none been made before. That's genius. Making connections where none been made before. Dreams are genius. They are fitting one thing with another. They are doing this for us. And this is something that we can do too. So I'm going to share some way that I have done this just in a very simple thing. And that would be with my dreams of my little kitty, Dreamily, which I have posted on our page. So, as you all know, I've been wanting a cat. Our older cat died. I posted my sadness and my dreams about the cat. I posted a dream that I'd had 1.5 years before he died, and how I saw that he went into a place of a garden. Well, after a period of time, I decided, I felt that I wanted another cat, so I was going to create a dream cat. So I decided to go to my dreams with my cat, because I really didn't know in my human awareness, what is that cat? I have no idea. What is that cat? What's this cat like? Male, female? I don't know. What is this cat? Is this a wild cat? What kind of cat is this? Is it a kitten? Is it what kind? So I really didn't know what would be a really wonderful cat to create. However, I figured that wherever that cat was, it was out there somewhere. So I told Ricardo about it and wanted him to dream about a cat too. So he actually began to have some cat dreams, and so did I. And in our dreams, we saw this dream cat. He saw it in a certain way, I saw another way. However, as time went on, it was like, what is the name of this cat? The feeling of the name of this cat. And it came to us immediately, Dreamily. Dreamily. The cat's name is Dreamily. She is a cat of dreams. She is actually going to be very important to you. I saw in my dreams in the future. She's going to be a part of the various things that you're creating in the future, the writings, the various things that you're doing. This is a very important cat. It isn't just any cat. People ask me, how will you know when it's the cat? Well, I'll know when it's the cat because the cat is the cat that I'm dreaming about. This is my dream cat. That's how I'll know. And whoever that cat is that I'm experiencing, that is going to be the cat. So what was really interesting about that is, meanwhile, the first time we went to look at a cat, we put it off for a little while, had some things going on, put it off for about 1.5 months. And so when we began to look, when we started to look for a cat, we went to the first place. No cat was Dreamily. They only had 3 cats. Not one of them was Dreamily. I could feel it immediately. We left immediately. The second time we went out, talked to Linda that morning, actually, and she thought we were going to find a cat that day. So did Ricardo. He put the carrier into the car because he was certain we were too. I wasn't so sure. I was just thinking we were dating, you know. Maybe we're not marrying today. Maybe we're just dating to go date the cat. And we went to the first place. We saw a couple cats. Maybe. Are you Dreamily? Are you Dreamily? Maybe let's go to the next place. And the next place, there were 2 cats in there. Both felt like a Dreamily. And I picked up. There was a kitten, and they were both white. One was a kitten with a little spot on her head, and the other was this white cat. Picked it up. Are you Dreamily? And I felt, I love you. Okay, I love you. Put her down. Okay, let's go to this one. Are you Dreamily? Take me home. Take me home. There was no I love you. Take me home. And I could feel my heart thumping really hard. This cat felt like Dreamily. To make sure I go pick up the other cat again because I hear the little squeaking I love you. You know, I can feel it from the cat. I love you. Picked it up. Are you Dreamily? I love you. Put it down. Okay. Take me home. Pound, pound, pound goes my heart. You could feel the cat's heart pounding. Pound, pound, pound. Yeah, this is Dreamily. This is Dreamily. And she had 6 toes, all white. Just, I'm very unusual to get a cat like that. I did not think we'd find a white cat. Linda thought we'd find a gray one, Fluffy. And I thought it would probably be yellow because Ricardo and I dreamed of a yellow cat. However, had I known what the color of the cat was, it would have taken me completely off course because it wasn't the color that mattered. It was the feeling of the cat. And this cat was created with the dream space. So this cat was impossible. She should have been taken a long time earlier. Just somehow people kept turning her down. And it turned out that I found out later that she had been there waiting for before she could even be adopted. So there were a number of little circumstances that kind of moved themselves around that kept kept other people from adopting her. A number of little strange, those mystical things that just kept happening, kept other people from adopting her. And I found that out when I went and looked at her records. And so, this really is our Dreamily, and she's been just wonderful. That's just an ordinary creation. So my whole point is that it isn't just the big things. It isn't just the little, it isn't just like, oh, I want this, this big desire, which is fine. Those are wonderful. And yes, we can work with our dreams to create that. It's also just in the things that are creating our lives, in the things that are part of our lives. In this case, it's a relationship that I want to create. And I take my relationship dreams. I have lots of relationship dreams. So I just expressed 2 dreams. One was, of course, from the archaeologist, and the other was mine on a scale that was just as important to me. And I'd like to know, can you see how you would, use this practical application, if there's any shares or thoughts or takeaways?
I often ask myself for healing dreams.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that's what you're asking for is how do we use these now to instigate certain kinds of dreams?
Yeah, what I'm asking is that there are 2 ways that I seeded my dreams by setting dream intention. And when we're deeply focused on anything like with your healing dream, whenever we're focused on something, we tend to dream about it. So I'm going to be giving an exercise that we can do with not just our daydreams, but also with our lives a little bit, in just a little bit. So my question is can you see with the 2 examples how this could have some practical application with your own dreams or in your own waking dream, your life?
Well, I can ask for dreams on how to handle certain relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, I have to pay attention to those dreams.
Yeah.
That's one way. There's endless ways that you can ask for dreams.
Mm-hmm.
They will occur. I notice that they don't occur sometimes. That occur 4 nights later. Also, I notice that sometimes they occur before I ask for the dream.
Mm.
In the spacious present, then that's the beauty of recording dreams and then writing them down afterwards, is that you see that. Oh, that I dreamed that 4 nights ago, and now it's coming up.
Mhm.
So so, yeah, it becomes more when you start asking for solutions like that. Um, it comes from all kinds of directions.
Mhm.
With
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And Elda makes some really good points, that we are, we're connected to the ever spacious present. Good point. And that when we have something within our heart that our heart wants to create, that's being expressed all the time. So that isn't necessarily occurring in a linear fashion. Dreams don't occur in a linear fashion. And when we live our lives in a less linear fashion, we often go more into our genius space. So you can seed your dreams. However, part of your heart is also seeding your dreams all the time. You can do this consciously by taking the conscious awareness into the dream space and taking the conscious awareness into the waking dream space as well. So marrying the two pieces.
I could jump in here.
Mhm.
So, yeah, the kind of person that I have discovered myself to be, the main thing that I create in my life is harmony, sanctuary, order, peace for myself and other people. One of the things I'm building right now at work, and I've been building for some time, is a work culture of mutual support and appreciation and harmony. Now we are having a person leaving us, and I'm going to be hiring a new person. And it seems to me that I could ask my dreams to help guide me to the person who is going to be part of this beautiful team that we have. Just in the same way that you were looking for your cat, that this will help me know the person, will help me find the person, in whether it's through an ordinary job seeking application, or in daily life, knowing somebody that knows somebody. So dreaming can help me create the connection
Yes,
to this person that is going to be our new team member.
that's beautiful. And you're exactly right. You can seed your dream with what you're intensely focused on, and then the dream can help you actually move into that creation like dreamily.
It seems as if I could also use it to increase harmony. I can take into my dream at night any situation of disharmony that might be at work, and ask for creative ideas to build more harmony, appreciation,
Mhm.
and mutual value of one another.
Yes. Harmony and mutual value. Beautiful. That is certainly a way that you can ask for help from your dreams. And then, of course, keeping some way of recording, because everybody's a little different. Some people do more of the paper type thing. I like to use a recorder. However, the more I've dreamed, the one thing that I've discovered is that I'm remembering more of my dreams without recording them at all. I think I'm just becoming more and more aware in dreams, because I have many more. Well, they like to call them lucid, but they're not always. They're they aren't this dramatic thing for me. They are just simply a part of, it's just like I have levels of awareness in dreams, sometimes a full awareness, sometimes partial awareness, sometimes I'm not aware in the dream. However, I'm finding that I'm remembering more dreams without recording them at all, which I find really interesting. So I get them down in the morning. However, I'm still recording. It's just that I'm finding that there's this clarity that's coming as I work with it more together. I like the idea of you're taking the idea of harmony and what you want to create in your work culture and ideas, and using your dreams to help you seed that. And then, of course, another thing that happens during the daytime, I really truly believe that our little nudges, our intuitive nudges and all that are linked to our dream space, or linked to that creative deep space within us coming from, our higher awareness. And we can get ideas that way as well. Anyone else?
I'm still having issues with sleeping, Kembry. I'm just wondering, shall I put suggestions to ask for help in my dreams about having more peaceful sleeping, or?
You could certainly ask, that's a good idea. You could certainly ask for ideas, because if you're not sleeping as well, you're remembering more dreams, most likely. Is that case? You're sleeping more
It's not
lightly?
really. Yeah, no, it's not really. I'm just not sleeping that well at all. And I dream maybe once every few weeks or something that I remember.
That you
Obviously, we
remember.
dream all the time
Okay.
that I remember. Yeah.
You can, I will suggest that you take this into, because we're doing the innocence meditation in full today.
Okay.
And you take that into there, and yes, you can take it into a suggestion for your dream space, because you can get ideas. You can get ideas on where you can go with this. You can, what is it that I need? Your dreams may show you that your dreams or those intuitive nudges that come from that awareness, because it works together. And the way that I'm putting it out here, it works together. You can get a little intuitive nudge. Oh, go see this person, or do this practice, or something as simple as take valerian root. Just as an example, that's maybe a little silly, but just as an example, that something that you can what is it that will create a better sleeping harmony for me? And ask for those intuitive nudges. Ask for that even to come from your dream space. Yes, you certainly can.
Yeah, I think I'll do that.
And remember that even if you're not remembering, there's a part of you that is remembering. There is a part of you that is holding on to that. There's a part of you that is the creative child. And that creative child wants to play. And that creative child wants to utilize imagination to make it up. That's what imagination is. We make it all up. We make up pretty much everything. We have to make up our lives. We have to make up who we are. I mean, it's an imaginative, intuitive flow that we can live within. You can take that to that.
I have a
thank you.
suggestion. To Shushil, I hope I said your name right, about how to sleep.
Yeah.
As well as using ideas to create your sleep within your mind. When you wake, and this is what I've done, I wake up in the middle of the night and I can't get back to sleep. And I realize that what I focus on is what I create. So when I'm lying in bed, it's dark and I can't sleep, I turn my focus to the word sleep. And I repeat that word at some regular, like sleep, 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 that whatever that cadence is for you. And I don't stop repeating that word. I stay with the word and I fall asleep. Because you're focusing then on sleep.
Yes. And our focus does create. So whatever you are focused on, if you're focused on that you're not sleeping, of course you're going to create more not sleeping. Because our focus does create our experience. Because what we focus on turns out into what we do. So it's kind of like we focus on a problem that creates more of the problem, and then we focus more, and it just ends up being a snowball. So another suggestion, of course, is that you can just sort of relax about the whole thing, that there isn't anything, not labeling it as bad or wrong. It's just simply that this is something that is right now, and that this is something you want to create. And this goes a little beyond what we're, doing today. However, that is a place that you can start as well. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, that's grand. Thank you.
So, we have, let's see. Yeah, we have the idea of our dream creativity. At this point, we're talking about dream and creativity. And when we go into this, we can go into it with questions. I like to make sure that I have generic questions, because I will have questions that may not necessarily be within my higher awareness. They may be based upon maybe a piece of something is scaring me or whatever. However, so I always make sure that I have dreams that I ask, what is in my highest good to know? It's a question I ask myself. What is in my highest good to know? Here, I'm not focusing on problems. I'm focusing on what I want to create. And that creation is coming from my deepest heart. My heart knows what it wants to create. My heart knows that there isn't a problem here. What is in my highest good to know? If I wake up and I find that I'm not dreaming, I don't remember the dreams, for instance, some night. And when I wake up, I ask, what was I dreaming? So this gets into what you were talking about, Sushil, as well. So you can ask for a symbol. And certainly I loved Eldon's excellent idea here about the sleep. But you can also, if you find that you wake up and you don't have a dream and you'd like to have some memory of your dream, you can ask for a symbol. Just go into this place of higher awareness from this meditation we're going to be doing in a minute and ask for a symbol. Think of a dream that you'd like to know more about, or something that you remember you'd like to know more about, or a creative project or something in your waking life. That we're going to be thinking about this as we go into this meditation. So the questions will be things like, what is in my highest good to know as we go into this meditation? It's called Innocence Meditation. It's going to be about the creative maybe it's a creative project, maybe it's something you want to know in your life, maybe it's a dream you'd like to know more about, but the answers are going to come from your own higher awareness, where your own genius lies, because each and every one of you, and me too, has genius. You're all genius. You all are able to make connections where they've never been made before. You are all of creative spirit, connected to all time and space, where all the answers reside. We think the answers lie outside of us. They're within. All of them are within our heart. And so that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be connecting into our heart space. So think about something that you would love to bring forth. Not a problem. We're going to go into what would I love to bring forth. Okay? I do this with choices. I make powerful choices every day. Without fail, I make my choices. So I did this with my choices, I have a choice about my relationship with Ricardo. And I dreamed our wedding anniversary. So what's the perfect wedding anniversary? So I took that to my dreams and created the feeling of that. And then he and I went and created that with also we were able to get off. We went to the sea and we created a beautiful experience together on our wedding anniversary. So I use it for everything. I use this type of meditation, this type of exercise, this type with my dreams. I use it all the time. So you're going to be thinking right now about going into this creative space of the innocent child who is connected to everything, doesn't need to know anything because you're already connected to it. Okay? And this is called Innocence Meditation. It is from one of my teachers, one of my primary teachers named William Whitecloud. And I'm going to be sharing it with you today and bring you to it. Now, this is a longer meditation, and I want you to fully immerse yourself into experience of it. The meditation is a little bit shorter, a little bit adapted into our guide section on Dream Creators page. This time I'm doing it as the pure meditation, okay? I want you to just go into this and get everything you can out of it. Just set the intention to milk it for all it's worth, okay? Okay, so I want you to all close your eyes. Deep breath in and a deep breath out. Make a decision that you're going to receive the maximum benefit from this meditation. That you're going to hear from a part of you, that part of you that's sacred, your divine essence, who you are most truly, beyond roles, beyond your personality, beyond any definitions of what you think the world is, beyond your orientations. Now, in a comfortable position, just relax, and there's no need to worry about anything at all. Just relax. Close your eyes and relax. Now imagine that you're walking through a forest. just walking through a forest. You hear the birds and other forest sounds. Brush your hand against the tree trunk and smell the rich earth. Taste the air. Feel the ground underneath your feet. Just imagine that you're walking through the most beautiful forest. Now imagine that you come across a path in the forest. Notice what it's like to follow the path in the forest. No need to worry about anything. No problems. Just think about what you see along the pathway. Sounds, the air, and how it feels to be walking along this pathway within the most beautiful forest. You are being within this forest. You walk and you walk. And after some time, you reach a fork in your path. You take the left fork and continue down the path. And you keep walking and imagining. Just keep noticing. What is it like walking down this new path? This new path to the left. Now the forest begins to thin. And some clearings start appearing. And as you walk into the clearing, you see the sea of flowers, flowers upon flowers upon flowers. So many flowers. They are the colors of your imagination. You continue to walk and you're immersed in the scent of the flowers and the grasses. You've left the trees behind, and now there are only the flowers. And you are in the midst of a sea of flowers. No worries. No worries. You just keep walking in every direction of the beautiful color. As you walk further, you see a place, a building. You walk toward it. You see that this is a holy place, a temple, a sanctuary. You know this place. And standing here in front of the door, you feel as if you've met an old friend you've not seen in a long time. There's this sense of a power, a reverence for a power, a life force you sense here beyond yourself. And you walk in, and now you're in a sanctuary. This is so beautiful to you that it takes your breath away. On one side is this forested green hallway that you walk down. And you see as you walk a room. And within this room, there's a cradle. And inside the cradle is lying a baby, a symbol of innocence. You look down at that baby and into its face, and you learn everything there is to learn about innocence. You look at this baby and note what it is like to be in wonder, to apprehend everything in the world for the very first time. You look at the child in innocence, empty of preconceived meanings and definitions. And you feel that baby. You feel like that baby. Connected to everything. You feel the sacredness, the divinity that is still strong within that little child's consciousness. Now imagine that you can step into this young child and see the world through this child's eyes. Become the child in the innocence. Imagine knowing innocence. You become the child in this crib, in this cradle. You look at the world in wonder. You're outside of all thought, and you see the colors of the world outside and the visions and the Creator inside of you. You hear the chimes above you and the music of the spheres echoing throughout the universe. You gaze on the existence of it all with the pleasure of one who belongs to it. Without question, without fear of separation. As you lie there, a child in innocence. Now the earth opens up beneath you and you begin to fall gently and safely through the purple void. Gently and safely through the purple void. You fall away from everything you knew before you stepped into that child. Everything. Away from all thoughts and beliefs and definitions of how things are that you thought were you. All left behind now as you drop gently through this purple void that supports you. Above you are the stars in the sky, remote and far away, as you keep gently falling through a purple void. You have been falling through this purple void forever. Gently, happily falling. The stars above you have disappeared. Just purple now, only purple. You are slowing down, drifting back to earth, drifting gently back to earth. Gently back to earth. You are the creative child drifting back to earth. Drifting back to earth in innocence. Slowly, slowly, you land back in your body here on earth. But now, with the consciousness of the child in innocence. Breathe the forest air. There are no worries. How does this work? Will it work? You don't know anything. That's it. Now just imagine you look inside of yourself, and there you find the child of innocence living inside of you. That child is still there, right there. Imagine that you are that sense of that creative child who knows nothing, and as the child knowing nothing, imagine you step in the forest, stand there. Just be there within the forest. No capability to rationalize, compare, or understand. Look. What are you aware of? What is obvious to you in this place? Stay there with your eyes still closed as a child in innocence. All you need to see is there. It is obvious to you. Now you make up within yourself a sound, and that sound is exactly what you would like to say, what you want to say, what you wanted to say. This is your innocence, your intuition. You will have an impression. Do you see it? A vague sense of something? An image? Sometimes just a few words. You are the creative spirit. Make it up. Imagine it. What questions do you have? Ask them. Remember that allowing the flow from you and making it up within that imaginative space is the language of the soul. You are the creative spirit. Your answers are there. Okay, now take a deep breath and open your eyes. back. How was that for you? And I muted all of you because I was getting some interference. So you'll need to unmute yourselves.
That was good.
Good, good,
Yeah, that was really good.
good. Yeah. Do you have any shares
Yes.
experience for you?
It's interesting because one of my, I kept running into things that I already do, but hadn't put it together the way that this is put together. Like I already walk in a forest.
Mm-hmm.
But it was nice to see the sanctuary because I always have trouble imagining. So it was nice to see that, and then to fall into the baby, which I do quite often, but to do it here was different. And then all that falling through the purple, that was just easy and relaxed, and it was a very beautiful construction of reality. It was a really nice experience. And I think that I will do it again. And I say thank you for helping put the innocence back where it belongs.
Wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, it's we don't really do that very often. Realize that our creative spirit, that part of us that it creates, that it comes from a place of the not knowing, comes from a place, we want to know how it is all the time. However, our creative spirit comes from that not knowing, that openness. That's where the genius lies. That's where the ideas are. The ideas that are not from the human egoic construction are from that place. Anyone else would
Yeah.
like to share? Yeah. Oh, anything more, Eldon? I'm sorry.
Oh, it's as we do these exercises, we get better and better at them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The more you do, the better you get. And to have a guide, to be guided along like that is probably the first time I've ever allowed that to happen. Was fruitful.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
So it's a matter of sticking with that kind of thing and keep doing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What I experienced was the purple cloud was like, from my tradition, like the Holy Spirit, a feeling of being held up. And then as I came into what I needed to know, I saw myself seeing, I saw eyes that without preconceptions, without paying attention to first impressions, but to simply see people, and particularly in terms of the job candidate I was looking for, but just to see people without judgment, but to see who they are. That if I take it from innocence, I can see who they are.
Wonderful. Beautiful share. Yeah. You can see them as who they are from that state of the innocence, which certainly is good for helping to make decisions. Takes away our definitions and our preconceptions that we tend to live with.
It lets us see reality as it is instead of the categories we impose on it.
Mm-hmm. And we need the categories to live in the physical world. However, they're not really that great when it comes to creating from our heart.
Right.
Anyone else want to share? Okay. I hope that was a good experience for all of you. And, another thing that on the, wrapping up of where we're going today is about dreams, that they're pointing us often toward an action that they want us to take, something they want us to do. I find this all the time. They're saying, we want you to do this. Here's something that you can do in your own physical life. And there's an action that's requested, and they want us to go forward into that action, because from our dreams, we can get the action from the place of innocence when we are consciously aware and we set the intention to do so. So it's really a beautiful thing. And I'm hoping that all of you had a good time today and enjoyed our session together. I certainly did. I have also am doing some creative dreaming sessions. And so this is like we hit the tip of the iceberg and going deeper on some of the creative dreaming sessions. So I've been offering those, and I've now set it up so it can be done through Calendly, through a link, through automatic setup. You can set an appointment with me if you would like, and they're about 40 minutes. I've refined them until I got the exact perfect time. They're about 40 minutes. And so I'm going to go ahead and put the link in chat here, right here. I'm also going to go ahead and put the link in comments when I post this in our regular guide section on our page. Okay, so this will be in more than one location. You can save the chat, or you can do that now. Of course, if these times don't work for you, go ahead and send me a message if you would like to talk and about your dreams, about creativity, about creating. My fascination is creating and dreams. So, whoops, I kind of lost the screen there. That's very odd. Let's pull out of that. All right. Thank you very much, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the session. I did. Put the link in the chat. And perhaps any last shares or anything before we go today?
Thank
very
you,
much.
Kimberly.
Thank you.
Kimberly.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for participating today. It was a lot of fun. Thank you so much.
Thank
And I
you.
wish you
That
all-
was really good.
Excuse me?
So thank you. That was really good. Enjoyed it.
Well, thank you very much, Sushil, for participating. Thank you, all of you, for participating with me today. It was just lovely. I so appreciate it every time that I get to do one of these with all of you. Each one I feel like just becomes more and more wonderful. So I really have appreciated it. I appreciate all of you. I appreciate you, participating in the group. And thank you. I wish you beautiful dreams, beautiful day. And remember the link in Calendly if you ever want to chat with me. Okay. So you have a beautiful, beautiful evening, beautiful dreams. Sushil, I think for you it's night. So thank you so much for participating.
Thank you.
Bye for
Thank
now.
you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
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 Bye.